Alright, so I'm just going to jump in because my throat is killing me. And I know I'm sounding real bassy, real mannish right now. And that's not cute. But I'm sorry. If I don't post now, I'm going to take this Alka-Seltzer and shower and go to bed. So, the question is, how independent is too independent? And of course, this is geared directly towards women. I am not a man, so I am not talking to y'all. However, men, I do want your feedback on this topic. James, my partner, is always telling me I want to wear the pants and the panties all the time. It's a very well known topic in our household. Now, I'm a very independent female. I am an alpha male and I have an issue with submission. Just put that out there. I have a hard time giving someone else control. And I think a lot of women have a hard time admitting that because we have egos just like men. And I have a hard time giving someone the authority to reign over me. Like that's hard for me. That's a hard one. And that's something that I'm working on because I've always been the final say. In my previous serious relationship that I had previous to this, um, I feel like I was more dominant in when it came to making decisions. I kind of I kind of just did things. There wasn't a whole lot of communication. I kind of was always the person that just got it done. But that's because I've always been that person. And I think that it also depends on the type of person that you're dating to if that's going to fly. If you're dating someone that's used to, if they're used to having people do everything for them all the time, then you being an independent woman is not going to be an issue. But if you start dating someone who is like a super independent man who does everything for himself, that doesn't look for others to do things for them, well, honey, you're going to have a problem. Like me. Um, as far as the finances and things go in our relationship, I take care of all that. You know, I set up for payments to be draft. I'm the one that's on the phone with the mortgage company or the bank or the insurance company or whatever. I'm taking care of those odds and ends and things like that. But everything is done primarily with discussion for the most part. I just go ahead and do things to make life easier for the both of us. If it's something that I feel like he's not gonna really give me any flack about, but if it's like anything concerning making large purchases or something like that where it's going to draw money out of the household, then yeah, you know, I'll call him or whatever to make him feel important or whatever and you know discuss it with him. But it's like, for example, the other day he was off. I knew he wasn't feeling well, so I didn't expect much housework to be done because he wasn't feeling well. You know, when men are sick, they act like little babies. So I was like, he's probably in the bed, whatever, whatever. I get off work, I come home, I get dinner ready, I wash dishes, you know, my normal after work routine. Um, and he came into the kitchen and he was like, get out of here. You're not feeling well. Go take a bath. Go chill. Well, he stepped outside. I still wash the dishes. I'm wiping down the counters, and I hear his famous line, "Oh, I forgot. You want to wear the pants and the panties." So I just put the dish towel down. I got out the kitchen, and I came to take my bath. But I have this can-do attitude with everything, and it has definitely posed an issue in my relationship because he feels like I don't want to submit. Now, depending on who you are, you may say you're right in that because y'all aren't married yet. So, you know, why be submissive if y'all not married, this and that, whatever, whatever. Well, that conversation is for someone else. That does not apply to me. We are we are in a relationship where we are cohabitants in the same house that we own together, raising our kids together, and we're working towards marriage. So I feel like there should be some give and take there. I know that individually I have to cut back on wanting to be in charge of everything because it's just in my nature to just I I'm very goal oriented. I'm focused for the most part. I'm organized. I have an idea of how I want things to go, and I really, really, really hate when someone else comes in and tells me, no, we're going to do it this way. I have a problem. So that is something that I am working on. So I encourage ladies, if you're in a relationship with someone and you find yourself running into this issue where your man feels like you're too independent, you have to find a happy median to where you're not making him feel less of a man with your strong femininity. It you don't want to be you don't want to make your man feel like he's inadequate to you because you always want everything done your way. You don't consult with him for anything. You make all these decisions on your own, and you just tell him about it opposed to actually communicating with him about it to come up with a decision. You have to remember to include him in things. Even if, because honestly, a lot of the times, even if we communicate about it, we end up doing what I said we were going to do anyway. But at least, he was able to give me his perspective about it. And honestly, when I started allowing him to lead me and take charge of certain things, I actually learned. Ladies, you can actually learn from your man if you let him, just letting you know. And it felt good, to sit back and let some of that stress come off of me and let him come up with an answer. And, it felt good to sit back and watch your man, and you're like, oh, that's my man, like he really step in and get that man a chance to shine and to lead you and to lead your family and all of that. I feel like it'll also, if you have kids, it'll allow, and sons, if you allow your sons to see that you are putting the man of the house, on a pedestal. We always talk about how we want to be on a pedestal and we want to be treated a certain way. But we got to uplift those men too and allow those men to be men. That is a man and I am a woman. There are things that he does that I cannot do, both physically and mentally. Men think differently than women. Men are stronger than women in most instances. There are things that he can teach my sons that I can't teach them. I am a woman. I can't teach my boys how to be a man. I'm a woman. I can't do that. So I'm not that mom that says I play the mom and the dad role. No, I don't. I'm just their mother. I'm not their father. I'm not their stepfather. That's not for me to do. I'm never going to take a man's shine from what they're trying to do. But definitely a lot in the beginning of our relationship, we argued a lot about me being too independent. But that's because all I knew was me and my kids. I always made it work. I hustled for myself. I hustled to make ends meet. Not hustled illegally, y'all, but you know what I mean. I always had a game plan. I did what I needed to do, and I've always been a driven person. But you can have drive and ambition, but still be a woman and not the man. You can still allow the man to be the man. So, I hope that you are able to take away from this. Don't run your man out the door by trying to wear the pants and the panties. Listen to that man. If that man has a good head on his shoulder, he's making good decisions, he's taking care of you, he's taking care of your family, allow him to lead you. Be a little, submit a little bit, give a little submission, and it'll only benefit you in the long run. I've seen people. I almost lost my own man, but behind this, but I've seen people, lose a relationship because they ultimately belittled the man because they didn't allow the man to be the man. They wanted to wear the pants and the panties. So, how independent are y'all? How independent are you? Do you see this as an issue in your relationship or past relationships? Or do you disagree with me? Do you feel like there's no such thing as being too independent in a relationship? I look forward to your feedback. So leave your comments below and let me know your thoughts.